fly, you jump and press the circle button.
Welcome back to Battle. Real quick before I do start, I do want to apologize for my voice. I'm a little sick right now, but let's get into it. So we finally got a look at the figures as well as the Morpher for Power Rangers Beast Morphers. This is, of course, when it comes to the toys. Now, a couple of days ago, we did get a look at the role-playing toys, which is like the masks and the swords and the blasters, things like that, which I was excited for, but here we really get into things that I really want to see, which, once again, are the figures and the Morpher. And I've got to say, from what I've seen, Hasbro's doing a really good job right now. We don't have the toys in hand, and we haven't seen like an in-life video of it, which we'll probably see at Toy Fair, which is in this coming week. It's here in a couple of days, but so far I do like what we are seeing. Moving into the figures, they are 6 inches and will be launching in the spring at $9.99. So most likely launching with the show when that does eventually come out. Whether that's in March or April, we don't know yet. It definitely looks like it's not launching in February like we were thinking, but we are getting regular 6-inch figures for the red, blue, yellow Ranger, as well as the dark Ranger, which is Blaze, and Tronics, which are the minions or the henchmen in this season. What's very interesting is it looks like these figures are kind of confirming Blaze's role in the upcoming future for the TV show, that he'll have somewhat of a big role, which is great because I love Evil Rangers. I love the design of that particular Ranger, so if he has a particular bigger role, if we're going to get more original footage, that's some great news. Although they're not outright saying it, having a figure right off the bat for this Ranger is good news, and it probably looks like we're going to be seeing that Ranger earlier on in the show than later because of this figure launching right when the show launches, or near to it. Plus, I believe the Dark Ranger and the Go Busters, or the Super Sentai equivalent Go Busters, didn't have too much screen time. I could be wrong because I haven't seen the entirety of Go Busters, and it's been a while since I've seen it in the first place, but I don't think I remember seeing him in too many episodes, the Ranger or the suit in general, so the fact that, you know, we've gotten a lot of news when it comes to Blaze, there's already been some sort of merchandise out for it, like phone cases, stuff like that. I hope we get a lot more original footage, especially with the Dark Ranger, because I love Evil Rangers within Power Rangers. He looks really cool, and this figure looks really cool as well. It looks like these 6-inch figures are going to be the same quality, if not really close, to those of the Legacy line here with Bandai America, and those were at $20, and I don't know if the Legacy line was taller or not, but it really looks like Hasbro is doing a good job at making high-quality toys for a cheaper price, because if this is very similar to Legacy line, you know, quality, and it's half the price that the Legacy line was, or Legacy figures was, this is really great news, because we wanted Hasbro to do a better job than Bandai America from the very beginning. And it really looks like, from what we're seeing here, that is indeed going to happen. Now, we don't have it in hands yet. We don't have, like, footage of it, people messing around with these toys, so we can't say for sure, but I'm feeling really good about this toy line so far, just from these figures alone. Plus, we have the Morpher, which, let's go ahead and get into that. I gotta say, this Morpher looks very cool. I mean, it's nothing too crazy. Even Bandai America Morphers were pretty good in terms of quality, so this is very similar to the type of quality that Bandai America were giving us, and this Morpher is just cool. Now, with each figure that you get for the Rangers, it'll have a certain key that you can put into the Morpher to unlock certain sounds and things like that. Sort of like the Ranger keys with Super Megaforce. That's really cool, and it, you know, incentivizes people to buy the other figures. I'm definitely going to buy all the figures, and I'm also going to get the Morpher, so I necessarily don't have to worry about that. I find it really cool, although kind of unnecessary, because the sounds aren't a big deal to me, but for younger children, this would definitely be a draw to buy the other figures, so I see what Hasbro is doing here. So all 3 of the regular Rangers, as well as Blaze, and even the Tronics do have some sort of key to unlock sounds within the Morpher. Plus, if you swing around the Morpher while it's on, it will also make noise, which I found cool as well. Now, the noises when it comes to toys aren't really high quality. They can sound really weird, so I guess we're going to have to see and wait and see how this sounds, how it really turns out. But I do like the general direction it's going. These keys are interesting, nothing too crazy, but are kind of cool for collectors. And I forgot to mention, when it comes to the Yellow Ranger, the skirt is going to be some sort of leather or, you know, material, which is good because I know in the past, when it comes to certain, you know, female Rangers with skirts, that sometimes they come as plastic and you can't really move around their legs a lot, and that is unfortunate. But with this figure, it's going to be a sort of material or leather, which is really good, so they have more articulation, and they're just as good as the male figures. I don't remember if the Ninja Steel line had that problem, so I'm not going to call out Bandai America or anything on that, but I know in the past that has happened, and it wasn't good. But this, especially with the leather costumes or the suits, this definitely makes sense to make it some sort of, clothing material, and it really works with this figure because the suits are leather in the TV show. So maybe that's why they did it for this certain line. Maybe in the future they'll do plastic skirts for other Rangers. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but here it looks really good, especially because of the material the suits are actually made out of in the show. Oh, and I think I forgot to mention that the Morphers will be launching at $29.99 US in the spring. Sorry if I forgot to mention that. So, a little hefty when it comes to the price, but not too bad. But we also got a look at the Zords. I totally forgot about that. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier on in the video, but we got to see 2 more Zords for the toys. The Beast X Ultra Zord will be launching in the fall at $34.99 US, and I believe this is the secondary Zord or Mega Zord to the Beast Morphers team. We have photos of another Zord, which seems to be the main Zord, but I can't find like a price or a release date on that on the internet, which is weird. So there's not too much information on that particular Zord. Once information does come out, I'll definitely cover it, which is really weird because we do have pictures of it, but I'm guessing more will be released later on, especially at Toy Fair. We also have a Play School Wild Force Zord coming out in the fall, and that's going to be at $59.99 because it's going to be like 2 feet tall, and it's meant for much younger children. I'm not going to get it, mainly because I don't really like Wild Force, plus these are toys that are much more simplified for like 3-year-olds, so it doesn't interest me too much. I'm not going to look too much into that, but there's your price point, there's your Zord, that's all I'm going to say about it. But that's all for today's video. I just wanted to tell you guys about these new toys. I'm feeling really good about it, especially the figures. The Zords, they look cool. There's definitely more to be desired, but they look good for Zords. We're just gonna have to wait and see until we get like real footage of them being messed around with, things like that, because you really can't tell just from one picture of a certain item. But they do look good. The figures absolutely look good, but we're gonna have to wait to get a little bit more information on the Zords, personally for me at least, because they just look okay right now. Of course, I'm not the biggest fan of, toy Zords. I do like them, but like I said, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Definitely stay tuned for the channel because we're gonna be getting a lot of Beast Morphers news here very soon. Plus, we got some Power Rangers movie news today, so I'm having a video out on that probably like an hour or 2 after this video. So like I said, stay tuned. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.